everybody. Welcome back to Cocktails and Rocktails with me, Notorious Groupie Allison Rouse. Coming to you today, making a video addressing what I've posted here and on other social media platforms about ending my channel. Bear with me, guys. I may be all over the place. I really do want to address this. But first and foremost, I want to make sure that everybody here who has been amazing supporters through Patreon, through this channel, through my social medias, through buying the book, personally, through emails and all your love and concern, I cannot thank you enough. And it's not anything to do with you guys. So I don't want you guys to be hurt or offended. That is my biggest worry, because you guys are the reason that I've made it this far, that I've actually been able to keep waking up and doing this and believing that I can get my book off the ground and get it to the next levels where I want to get it to. So you guys have done an amazing job. I cannot even thank you so much. The community, the family, the sisterhood from the other groupies in the 80s that we've built here is amazing, and that has been the greatest gift I could ever get from this book. So I thank you guys so much. Truly, and from the bottom of my heart, I truly, you guys, it has been everything to me, and it is what has kept me going. Because let me explain, it's not just a financial, I'm fine financially. I just set aside a certain amount of money to go for 6 months till I got 1,000 subscribers and could start seeing a way to financially make this my full-time living. Walked away from a job that I was doing great. I worked with a lot of brew houses around the United States. I worked for the DABC. I turned this piddly little job into something way bigger that I actually enjoyed. So walked away from all that, and that's fine, because I released this book 9 years ago, and I have never, ever taken the time to make it my #1 priority, for good reason. Number one, when I released it, I was in a horrible abusive relationship, mentally, emotionally abusive. The guy was cheating on me. He knew about the book. He was okay with it, but when it came down to it, his 23 side whores all whispered in his ear. It destroyed my whole life for 2.5 years. So I put this book on the back burner for a lot of years. And last year, making the decision to walk away and to really just make this book, hold on, there we go. To make this book my #1 priority was a pretty big decision for me. And one that I did not make lightly, but one that I wholeheartedly, passionately, with my heart and soul, I really love to do. And I really want to do. And I really want to make it my living. And it's not just book sales and stuff. And like I said, I'm okay financially. It's just, I put away 6 months, and 6 months turned into, let's keep going a couple more months. Let's do a couple more months, couple more months. And it turned into over a 1.5 years. So kind of went a little more into my savings than I really cared to. So that kind of hit me, but it hit me more mentally and emotionally, and a little bit in my ego, of course, because you have to have ego to realize what this is. Starting the YouTube channel was a way to market and to get myself out there, so I could do more book sales, so I could get my name out there for interviews, so my voice could be heard, because that was the original reason I wrote my book. I'd spent too many years being called hooker, prostitute, murderer, druggie, all these horrible things about John, that no. I wanted my story to be told, so I told a tiny little fraction of it. And with this YouTube channel, it expanded that, because you guys are seeing the more emotional side, the more heart and soul, the more relationships that I had long term. It's filling in all the gaps of the book, which is great, and I'm glad, and that was one of the reasons I wanted to do this. And like I said, of course, to get more interviews, you know, because you see the same rehashed bullshit, the top 20 groupies of all time. And it's the same list they've been doing, the exact same list, just copy pasted, they've been doing for 20 years. Now, this is not for my ego, but this is marketing for what I want to be my full-time living. I need interviews. I need to be included on those lists. I need to be validated for my channel to really move forward. I need to be validated as a business in that manner, because it's part of what my business is. It needs to expand to be able to do that. And it's just not happening. And there's reasons behind that. I suck at marketing and promotion and stuff. I'll tell you guys in the video that yes, my merchandise, my books, everything's down in the description. But I need to market in other ways and be more prominent, I guess, on social media, on TikTok, and I just totally suck at it. And I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I've done this by myself. What a lot of people don't know, because they've skipped over certain videos, is this is 17 years I've taken to get to today with this book. From the moment I decided to write it, to writing it, to shopping for an agent, which, you know, you would send out a query to 2 or 3 agents, you wait 2 or 3 months, then you do the process again until you have an agent. And I had a great agent, and then he starts that process again to shop the book. Got a couple of really great offers, and this was according to the guy who worked for the company who signed Scammy DeBar's first book. I got the biggest offer any groupie book has ever gotten. Yeah. And I walked away from it, and I turned my back on it because they wanted it to be so almost famous, so bullshit. And it's something that I'm not. So I walked away and went and self-published on Amazon when Amazon was not in the top 10 of the publishers, when it's now the #1 publisher in the world, believe it or not. So I took a chance, and like I said, because of the certain relationship I was in, I was mentally made to feel that my book was an embarrassment, that it's not something I should put forward, and like it was the center, and it was destroyed by people who, over a piece of shit man, who thought they could get a leg up on me trying to destroy my living when I wasn't doing anything to them. So that kind of set me back a lot. And when I left that relationship and came back to recover and recoup everything I lost from that, not just mentally, emotionally, but financially and everything as well, I had to put it on the back burner. So getting to the point where I was able to walk away and be independent and try this out was huge, and it was liberating, and I was so excited, and I have so much hopes for it. I still do, but I have to step back and reevaluate mentally and emotionally how this is affecting me right now, because like I said, I never get heard. Paul Reese writes a book about John. He knows exactly who I am. He knows he can find me. Does he do that? No. He chooses to listen to the first bitch ex-wife that John Entwistle had, talking about you, Allison Wise. I don't care if your cousin Mark was watching me on Facebook and he was cool, but was reporting back to you on my Facebook page. I don't give a fuck about that. But you let him say, oh no, I'm sure this is how he met this bitch, but at some strip club. That's not even the truth. So I'm still being overstepped by things. And let's face it, TMZ reporting that James Hetfield was getting a divorce, that wasn't on their radar. That was a trickle-down effect. And where did they probably actually start to take it seriously? Because all the arrows pointed to my YouTube channel. So, and let's not talk about the shows that have used my material in their shows, like The Reels. And I do have some influence on Californication Season 6 on that girl who woke up next to a dead rock star and had to go hide. And let's talk about the Metallica ABC's book, because that came out several years after my book had the ABC. So I'm tired of this trickle-down effect and not getting any validation or not getting recognized for it, and my back not being had by the people whose back I've had for all these years. You know, so it's really, really hard for me, because I wake up in the middle of the night crying my eyes out and wondering what I'm doing wrong, and, you know, why I can't get this as, you know, I'm just starting lift off with my book, with this channel, and it's just not taking off, and I don't know why. And it is so mentally exhausting, because I do deserve my place. I was already out there, so I deserve my place the way I choose it to be, the reality, rather than people choosing my reality for me, which isn't my reality at all. And another reason, like I said, for all this, the book, the YouTube channel, everything, so I can expand. Because I do want this book. I don't want to give up. I do not want to give up on this. And you guys have been so amazing. I can't even tell you. This is what I always say about the rock community. From the 80s, we were always so awesome and supportive. And we made this aura about the rock community that was irreplaceable, that you just can't ever have again. So thank you guys for all the love and support. You are the reason I'm making this video and that I'm not totally giving up. I don't know how much I'm going to post on this channel, and it is not for sale, because this is my blood, sweat, and tears. This is nights crying. This is triumphs. This is heart and soul. This is me, my life. And I've put too much into this to sell someone else to profit that would also hold some intellectual property. So if I wanted to sell my book, I would have problems because you could sell it before me. Hi, kitty, kitty. My kitty's right there. So I appreciate you wanting to keep this going, because I know that's the heart that was meant by that. But no, I'm the only thing I'm going to sell is the purchase rights to a big production company for a movie or a series. You know, because I do have a movie and a series here, because it frustrates me. Because, okay, this sounds egotistical, but it's not my ego talking. It's a business. I'm looking down, comparing to my competition, and they've got this much compared to my this much. And like Scammy DeBars and then pretend they had these big, significant relationships with rock stars over 2 weeks' time. I've got 8 years, 13 years, 7 years, 5 years, 10 years, 6 years, 4 years, 2 years. You cannot create a significant relationship in 2 weeks, 2 months, or seeing someone 3 or 4 times. So I know what I have as a product and as a commodity. I know the rock and roll historical significance of my book. I know that I'm the only groupie, and I know my story can expand. So it is so frustrating me knowing I've got a great product, but it's being stopped because someone said I was a liar on a couple podcasts. Your karma's gonna get you, bitch. Because Scammy DeBars, you are the liar, and you encourage others to lie. So when someone comes around with the truth and something and a groupie that has a life so much bigger than tiny little LA for a couple months to maybe a year and a half, like I said, you can't form any significant being. And there's plenty of people that we know, they're the same people that, and I'm tired of being put second to that, and I shouldn't have to be. So what I need to do is step back for a minute and decide really how much more I can give mentally and emotionally to all of this while being trampled on and used and left in the dust. Because this is my product, this is my business, and that is a deadly thing to any business. So what I'm going to do with this channel is I still have about 10 videos that are ready to go that I'm going to post. The books are going to be up till the end of the year. I just have to recoup the money that I spent. I want to make sure I'm going to be okay in the future and that this money is replaced. I want to take time out to think about what I'm going to do, because I do want to do a podcast. But I think a podcast for me would be better with call in and probably the other girls or people to interview. But I've tried to have the girls on, other girls from my era on, and they just ignore it and let it go on, and then I just kind of don't want to bother anybody. So that's hard for me, and I don't know how to get other people on because I've never asked anybody for anything. I've never asked anybody for help, but I need help, and I need to be able to expand into something bigger than just sitting here telling my stories or telling my opinion on Madonna or comparing different groupies and stuff like that, which I'm really excited that this is what it's expanding to. So it does give me some place to try and figure out where to go from here. But I need time to do that. And time to tell myself that because I'm so hard on myself. Scammy DeBarrs can be a bitch to me all she wants, but no one's harder on me than I am. Because I tell myself that yes, I'm a failure, I'm a piece of shit. Why is it that I just get to be treated like a novelty and not a human being with a heart and soul that put into this, that I was living my rough life with? I'm just a whore that killed John Entwistle. And then I still keep being called that, and I don't want to be called that anymore. And you know, it's like I said, what this is all about is getting my voice heard, because it will open doors once people start to hear me. And YouTube, it sucks because without 1,000 then I cannot get monetized, and once I hit 1,000 then they start pushing you a little more, but you have to still get more and more and more. And I want more, and I don't want to be egotistical, and I don't want to be greedy about it, but I want more because I need to expand the business. So I need to figure out where this is going and how I'm going to continue in the future with this and still include my book and stuff like that. And I do want to write a second book, because this book is only half the story. Only half my story to boot. Because as we know, like, Scammy DeBarrs kept her story very, very to herself. And she controlled how the other girls' stories were told through all of her specials and stuff. I don't want to do that. With my book, it's not just about me. With expanding to hopefully get signed to something bigger, this opens doors for the other girls, because they've got hella stories to tell for a decade or so. Also longer than all the other groupies in history. I mean, it's just kind of, it's so frustrating to me, because like I said, I know the product I have and that the sub-products that can come from that. So it's really frustrating when you put your heart and soul and you put yourself on the line mentally, emotionally, financially, in every single way, and you feel like a failure over a year and a half later. And you know the hurdles and the brick walls, and they just keep coming and coming and coming. And no matter what you do, you're jumping in circles and circles and staying in static. And I'm not a staying in static kind of girl. Woman, whatever. I'm just not I'm a strong woman who wants to move forward. And what that means right now, I don't know. I've got to figure it out. So I will be posting a few more videos that I have like 10 more, so I'll be posting them periodically as I go along, as I figure out, and I'll chime in and make another video like this to let you guys know what I decide really in the long run, because like I said, I don't want to give up. Something in my gut inside of me tells me that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I mean, every road has pushed me to this. Whether I wanted it to or not, it's pushed me here. And I want to do the best and the most with it while I am. And I want to leave my voice behind, because it's all I've got. So this is my baby. So I'm going to take a minute out to see what my baby needs and to see where the future holds. All right, guys. And I cannot thank everybody enough. There are no words, truly, for all the kindness, the support, everybody coming around, the sisterhood, the brotherhood of rock and roll. That has been the most... Sorry, you guys. Okay, sorry. That has been the most amazing gift I have ever been given through this channel. Is all of you guys. Like I said, this isn't a decision that's been lightly. It's been many nights woken up in the middle of the night crying and wanting so much for this, not just for myself but for the other girls, to give them the opportunity. So I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. I'll post a couple videos that I have, but I'll see you guys in a few weeks and let you know what I'm feeling. 2-3 weeks I'll be back with another video, and let you know where I'm going to go with this, okay? So again, thank you guys so, so much. Words can never express, so cheers, big ears. We'll see you soon.